Hi guys, in this video we will learn part project evaluation and review techniques. So how this part is used to identify the risks that are existed in project development in the project schedule. CPM versus PERT. So already we discussed about critical path method, which is used to identify the various critical activities that are existed in project development. So what is the need of PERT? How PERT is useful to identify the risks that are existed in project development? So in what way PERT is distinguishing with CPM? Both are almost same. In what way? In this video we'll learn in what way PERT is distinguishing with CPM, critical path method. CPM. The activities and timings are given in case of CPM. In critical path method, the various project activities or tasks and their timings are given. Whereas in PERT, each activity will have three time estimates. In case of PERT, every project activity is having three different timings. In order to start and finish the activity or project task, we have three different timings. What are the three different timings? Optimistic time, the best time that we have to start the activity and finish the activity. Most likely time, that is the average time to start the activity and finish the activity. And pessimistic time, the worst case time to start the activity and finish the activity. So these are the three times are given to start the activity and finish the activity during the project development. Three time intervals are given. So comes to CPM, the given time is in a deterministic nature. Every activity is having a deterministic time. So that is the particular period is given to start the activity and finish the activity in CPM. Whereas in PERT, we have three different time intervals in terms of non-deterministic nature. So these times are in a non-deterministic nature. The best time to start the activity and the average time to start the activity and the worst time to start the activity. So how these are useful, and PERT is used in order to find the probability of meeting or missing target dates during the project development. So PERT provides a method for estimating the probability of meeting or missing target dates. So nothing but whenever an activity or project task is having a target date. So how many chances are there to finish the activity by the given target date that we are estimating in PERT. Whereas in CPM will calculate the various project tasks start time, end time, but whereas in PERT will calculate the probability, that is nothing but how many chances are there to finish the project task by the given target date that we are calculating in PERT. Steps in PERT. The first step is calculation of mean duration or expected duration of all the project activities. So we have to calculate the mean duration of the project activity using the three times: optimistic time, most likely time, and pessimistic time. Using those three times, we have to calculate mean duration or expected duration of all the project activities. Then second step, calculation of activity standard deviations of all the project activities. In this case, we have to find the float, the maximum waiting period that we can wait to start the activity, that we are calculating the standard deviation for all the activities in the project development. And then critical path. So like CPA and CPM will find the critical path. This path is useful to construct a project network. Then fourth step, the probability of meeting or missing target dates of each event. So in third step, in order to construct a project network model, we'll use activity on arrow approach. Activity on arrow approach. So that we discussed in previous videos. So please go through that video. So how to construct a network model using activity on arrow approach. So while constructing the network, for every activity we have the start event and end event. For every event we have to calculate expected duration of each project event, and then calculation of standard deviation of each project event. So this is different and this is different. So here we are calculating expected duration for all the project activities, standard deviation for all the project activities. These are for activities. This is for event. When should we start the event? For that we are calculating. For every activity we have start event and end event. So both are different. So anyhow, to calculate the event expected duration and standard deviation, will use the activity expected duration and standard deviation only. We'll see in the example. Then calculate the z value for each event that has a target date. So here the additional mechanism is calculating the z, that is the probability of meeting the target date. How many chances are there to meet or to finish the project by the given deadline? That we are calculating. Additionally, in addition to critical path, we are calculating Z value. Okay. After that, we'll convert the Z values into probabilities by using standard normalization distribution table. So, in order to calculate this, we'll use these activities expected duration and standard deviation only. So these are calculated. This fourth step using one and two steps in order to calculate the event expected duration and standard deviation. We will use the activities expected duration and standard deviation, because every activity requires a start event, end event. So for calculation of expected duration, how to calculate expected duration of all the activities. So we have three different times. Each activity will have three time estimates. Optimistic time, that is represented with the alphabetical letter A. Then most likely time, that is represented with alphabet M. Pessimistic time, that is represented with alphabet B. Optimistic time, most likely time, and pessimistic time. How these are used to calculate expected duration of the activity. Expected duration of the activity. Optimistic time, the shortest time to finish the project. That is the best time. The shortest time to finish the project activity. In this, we could expect to complete the activity or activities and the bearing outright miracles. Without any miracle, what is the shortest time to finish the project activity or the whole project? Most likely, the normal average time and their consequences to finish the project. The average time to finish the project task or the whole project, both. Pessimistic time, the worst possible time to finish the project. Okay, not only project, its internal components, the various project tasks, all reasonable eventualities except acts of god and warfare. Excluding this, the worst time to finish the project. So using these three parameters, we'll calculate expected duration of every project activity during project development. So expected duration time TE is calculated using these three parameters. TE equal to A plus 4 multiplies most likely time plus pessimistic time divided by 6. So like this way we'll calculate expected duration of every project activity. Then the second step, calculation of activity standard deviation. Standard deviation of all the project activities or project tasks. It is a quantitative measure of the degree of uncertainty of an activity duration estimate. It is calculated using the following mathematical expression. So S equal to B minus A divided by 6. So what is B? Pessimistic time. And what is A? Optimistic time. Okay. So here we are calculating the standard deviation using the combination of pessimistic time and optimistic time. B minus A divided by 6. So using this formula, we'll calculate the standard deviation of all the project activities or tasks. Then where B is the pessimistic time and A is the optimistic time. So then construction of a network model. So part, in order to construct a network, part uses activity on arrow approach. Activity on arrow approach. The network model is constructed using the activities and their precedence from left to right. Network mode construction procedure is available in the below link. So we discussed in previous videos. This is the link how to construct a network using activity and arrow approach. So there we discussed in detail how to construct the whole network. So please go through this video. So in order to construct a network, every activity requires two events, that is the start event and end event, because we are representing activity on arrow. Activity on the arrow. Every activity requires start event and end event. So node configuration. So that is event configuration. Event configuration. So this is the event configuration. The event number, expected duration date, that is the start of the event or start of the activity. Standard deviation. If any deviation, if any violation is there, the maximum time that we can wait. And the target, if any activity or event is having target date, so that is specified, depends on the project. So if any target date is given for any event or activity, we will use that target date in order to calculate z value. Activity and arrow approach is used to construct a network model in project evaluation and review techniques. Arrows represent activities. Arrows, so we are representing activity on the arrow. Nodes are events for points in time. Every activity requires start event, end event. Event, completion or beginning of an activity in a project. Calculation of expected duration of each project event. So in the previous case we discussed, that is this. This is for activity, expected duration of activity, standard deviation of activity. Now we are calculating, that is in the process we are in fourth step. Fourth step, expected duration of each project event. How to calculate the expected duration of every project event. For the initial event, the expected duration is 0. For the initial event, the current event, what do you mean current event? Other than the first event, other than the first event is what called current event. The expected duration is expected duration of previous event plus expected duration of activity. Addition of expected duration of previous event plus expected duration of activity, that is for current event. If more than one activities are available, okay, in the network, more than one previous activities are available, more than one previous activities are available, take the maximum expected duration for the current. Maximum expected duration for the current. So like this way we have to calculate expected duration of every project event. Then standard deviation of every project event. Calculation of standard deviation of every project event. Standard deviation for project event is calculated by carrying out a forward pass in the network using standard deviations. Using standard deviation from left to right, will calculate for every event. If more than one activities are present, if more than one activities are present, calculate the maximum of square of sum of standard deviation square of all available paths. So you need to understand this, maximum of square root of sum of standard deviation square of all available paths. We'll see one example. So I am having one previous event, another previous event. So I am having more than one previous event or activities. So what I have to take maximum. So which one is the maximum? Point. So maximum of these two. So that we have to take into account. Consider the maximum one. So here we have only two previous events or previous activities. More than two or more. So how to calculate? So I have one previous event and it is also having one following event. Both are having a link. So these two are pointing the current. So another, the current is having another previous event. So we have to calculate maximum of path 1. So what is there in path 1? This combination. Path 2. What is there in path 2? This. So we need to calculate. So how to calculate? More than one actors are present. Calculate maximum of these two. Square root of sum of standard deviation square. Sum of standard deviation squares, that is square root of 0.35 square plus zero point 0.5 square. Square of 0.35 square plus zero point 0.5 square, that you will get zero point 0.6. And what is the other path standard deviation value? 0.4. So we need to take the maximum of path 1 and path 2. Maximum of path 1 and path 2 for the current. These are the various previous paths are available. Maximum of path 1 and path 2. What is the maximum? This is the max. So like this way, for every project event, you have to calculate standard deviation. Then calculating Z values. We need to calculate Z values by using the expected duration and standard deviation. The Z value is calculated for each node or event that has a target date. So Z value is calculated which event or node is having a target date. For that only we have to calculate, not for all the events. Which node is having the target date, for that event only we have to calculate the Z value. So it is calculated using the following mathematical expression: Z equal to T. So where T indicates the target date, T indicates the expected duration of the event. Expected duration of the event only. Then S, standard deviation of the event. For that particular event only we are calculating the Z value if target date is given. Once you calculate the Z value, you need to convert the Z values using standard normal distribution table. So using this standard normal distribution table, you have to convert the Z value. So this is for positive impact. Same way, negative impact. So positive impact indicates that the percentage of chances of the project completion by the given target date. So this indicates in positive way how many chances are there to finish the project or task by the given target date. And negative impact. So this indicates the percentage of chances of the occurrence of risk in project development. So like this way you can understand positive and negative impacts.